Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys deny request for Bears to interview head coach Mike McCarthy, report. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones recently spoke about the future of head coach Mike McCarthy, stating that he was fine with McCarthy seeking interviews elsewhere. That elsewhere was revealed when the Chicago Bears formally requested to interview the Cowboys coach for their head coaching vacancy. More news: Raiders have fired Antonio Pierce after one full season, despite Jones revealing that he was fine with McCarthy taking interviews. That is reportedly not the case. According to NFL insider Adam Schefter, ESPN source, the Dallas Cowboys denied permission to the Chicago Bears to interview their head coach Mike McCarthy. Schefter has revealed through an ESPN source that the request for the Bears to interview McCarthy has been denied. As stated, Jones stated that he was fine with McCarthy speaking to other teams. The Athletic's John Machota reported on this. Jones stated, "Then I would say, go talk. I really would. Go talk. I just let Ezekiel Elliott do that. That's not healthy to have somebody around that wants to be someplace else." Jones likened the McCarthy situation to that of Ezekiel Elliott, who was recently released by the Cowboys. He has since signed with the Los Angeles Chargers. Though Jones was attempting to offer a tough attitude, it appears his toughness was a bit misplaced. The denial offers some interesting questions. Does this mean McCarthy will get an extension? Will the Cowboys deny more interview requests for McCarthy? The most obvious situation here would be that the Cowboys are going to offer McCarthy an extension, which makes a ton of sense. Regardless of Dallas missing the playoffs, McCarthy is still a winner. McCarthy has led the Cowboys to a 49-35 record through 5 seasons. This includes 3 playoff berths in those 3 seasons. Though the Cowboys have been stacked in terms of talent, they have yet to make the Super Bowl. This has been the biggest issue shared by Jones and the organization. To McCarthy's credit, the 2024 season was ripe with injuries. Sam Williams, Dak Prescott, and DeMarcus Lawrence highlight the star players who have missed the entire season, or most of it. More news: Joe Biden signs bill to allow Commanders to officially relocate. McCarthy did what he could with what he had, and that could be why the Cowboys might be leaning toward giving him an extension. His contract is set to expire on January 14, meaning Jones will have to offer some sort of new deal by then. With the Bears' request being denied, it makes sense that Jones and the Cowboys are ready to offer a long-term deal. Green Bay Packers rival denied permission to interview former head coach. Green Bay Packers head coach Matt LaFleur is not perfect by any means. Yet the fact remains that he has led the youngest team in the NFL to the postseason 2 years in a row. Indeed, this year's Packers team is the second youngest ever to make it to the NFL playoffs. The only team younger was last year's Green Bay team that snuck into the postseason as the 7th seed. It was that team that also upset the second-seeded Dallas Cowboys, who are, of course, led by former Packers head coach Mike McCarthy. It was Green Bay's improbable blowout win over Dallas that may have played a big contributing factor of their former coach not getting a contract extension last offseason. The Cowboys were only 6-10 in 2020, McCarthy's first year as head coach. However, that was also the year in which their starting quarterback, Dak Prescott, suffered a severe ankle injury and missed 11 games. Dallas, though, won 12 games in each of the next 3 seasons, making the playoffs each time. However, McCarthy and his team failed to get out of the first round in 2 out of these 3 seasons. Green Bay's blowout win on the road in Dallas in the wild card round last year dropped his postseason record with the Cowboys to just 1-3. Prior to the 2024 NFL season, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones opted not to give McCarthy a contract extension despite the fact that he was entering the final year of his original deal. This made the former Packers head coach a lame duck in 2024, a coach whose future is uncertain. Dallas finished this season 7-10, with many expecting them to part ways with McCarthy soon. Yesterday, it was reported that the Chicago Bears, who fired Matt Eberflus mid-season, were interested in interviewing McCarthy for their vacant head coaching job. Despite the fact that the Cowboys are not in the postseason, the former Packers coach is off-limits to other teams until January 14 unless they get permission from Dallas to speak to him. And today, the Cowboys denied their request. John Machota, who covers the Cowboys for The Athletic, wrote of this development, "This appears to be a sign that Jerry Jones has real interest in keeping Mike McCarthy as Cowboys head coach." After the news that the Bears had been denied permission to interview McCarthy, Dan Graziano of ESPN reported that they plan on interview former Seattle Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll on Thursday. Micah Parsons already recruiting big Cowboys WR trade target. The Dallas Cowboys' 2024 season didn't end the way they envisioned going into the year. Slammed with injuries to multiple key contributors, the Cowboys finished the campaign with a 7-10 and missed the playoffs for the first time since 2020. Since the Cowboys didn't extend head coach Mike McCarthy, there are plenty of questions surrounding his future with the team. Regardless, the attention has shifted over to the offseason, and star defender Micah Parsons is wasting no time recruiting Tyreek Hill to town. Following the Week 18 loss to the New York Jets, Miami WR Tyreek Hill voiced his displeasure with how things have played out with the Dolphins. He said, "I'm out, bro. So, it was great playing here, but at the end of the day, I've got to do what's best for my career. Because I'm too much of a competitor." It didn't take long for Parsons to make a plea for the Cheetah to come to the Lone Star State. Parsons tweeted, "We can be the fastest duo in the league. We also don't have state income taxes." The Penn State product vouching for Hill shouldn't come as a surprise. The Cowboys have a huge hole at WR behind CeeDee Lamb, and Parsons has made it known he wants to win. Getting a weapon like Hill to Dallas won't be cheap, but would be worth it. Hill is known for being the fastest WR in the league and has thrived in both Kansas City and Miami. In his career, he has 798 receptions for 11,098 receiving yards and 82 touchdowns, including 6 seasons with more than 1,000 yards. Hill is signed through the next 2 seasons, slating to have a $28 million cap hit in 2025 before jumping to a whopping $51 million in 2026. The price tag for a 30-year-old will certainly require a day 2 draft pick and more. Who knows if Miami will actually trade him or if the Cowboys would be open to even acquiring him after handing a massive deal to Lamb last offseason. Nonetheless, Parsons is recruiting one of the best WRs in the league. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Tyreek Hill? Leave your opinion in the comments.